Cool, I think we are live. Hello everybody and welcome back to ULC Season 3, and today we are here for the Xbox Tier 2, and today we're in Hungary for round number 5 after a great race last week in Britain. We are here in the, well, it's lovely and sunny today in Hungary, and today I'm joined by TR Bosley. How are you doing on this fine evening?
Hello, I'm pretty good. I'm quite excited to see some of the drivers in action tonight. It should be some good entertainment. Yeah, it's always an interesting track to watch, Hungary, because there's not often that many moves, but there can often be a lot of crashes and spins at Hungary because it's quite a difficult track, so I'm quite looking forward to watching this one.
Yeah, Hungary, as many people are saying, I'm sure you'll hear it again tonight with other commentators, a Monaco without the barriers. It's nice and twisty for us, and like you said, Bosley, not the greatest track for overtaking, really. It's Sector 1 where we see the majority of the overtakes here in Hungary. But, you know, it's a tricky circuit. You know, you've got the start of Sector 2 as a almost blind left-hander, which your drivers will have to negotiate, and a tight, twisty section in Sector 2 and 3. But I'm sure we'll see some quality racing here tonight. We've got 18 drivers, and last week's British Grand Prix was fantastic. And unfortunately, I couldn't make that because I was filled with man flu, as usual. I think maybe too much drinking, but we won't go into my alcoholic problem on this stream tonight. But yeah, these guys are just starting off their qualifying laps. Got on board with the RGL man, ESR Verstappen, as he starts his first lap in the Renault. But Bosley, how have you got much experience racing around Hull?
I've done a couple of races at Hungary. Yeah, I've done 3 races. None of them have gone particularly well. I think I've got wing damage in every single one of them. So I've not got some good experience at driving at Hungary. But yeah, I think it is a track that I like. I've just never really had good races at it. It's never really gone well for me, but yeah, it's a track that I like.
Yeah, how did you do in AOR? Because of course I was away, because we're in the same league for AOR. Somehow I'm in your league.
Yeah.
I don't really know how. My driving, how did that go? I don't remember. How well did you do in that race?
I don't actually remember. What I do remember is that my tyres didn't change in quality for my second run. Oh yeah, I had a crash and retired from the race.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely, yeah.
Yeah, but for those, let us know who you're supporting tonight. Hype going in that chat. We'll love to see your comments, and we'll read some of them as the race goes on. But can anybody guess? Those in the chat, can anybody guess who is the only man to finish on the podium in every single race? I'll give you about 2 minutes to try and figure that out. Let me know in the chat. But Verstappen goes fast at the moment with a 17.8. We should see sort of high mid-16s, sort of low 17s here in Hungary, depending on how good these drivers are. You know, we've got some top quality drivers, and Berserk has already got it right with Danny M7. That was within 30 seconds. That's a good job there.
Yeah. Record timing.
Yeah, yeah. Unless you looked at the standings, that was cheating. But you know, I thought some people might have done that. Or those eagle-eye viewers must be watching every stream. But yeah, plenty of people get in the chat. So yeah, let us know if you want to hear. If you want me to change any of the details on the side, that would let me know in the chat, and I can change those for you. But Bosley, who are you fancying today for pole? You know, there's plenty of drivers here. You know, we've got Danny, guys from STS. You know, the guys from SRL. You know, we've had some surprises here, and guys from the other leagues coming up and getting on pole. But who do you fancy for today's pole position?
I think I'm going to put my money on Danny to take pole. As I say that, Stone puts it on provisional pole. I think I'm going to go for Danny. He's currently championship leader. He's had some strong races. Obviously, as you said, the only driver to finish on the podium for all the races, so I'm going to go with Danny for pole. Although it's not going to be easy for him. Very closely matched, as he just matches the exact same time as
no.
Stone.
Oh no! We've had this
Yeah.
when we commentated over STS a couple of weeks back, didn't we? Where we had drivers starting on the same time, and they started on top of each other. So that may happen, and we may have to have a restart. Hopefully that doesn't happen here. because course formation lap is off. So, hopefully one of them improve. So we'll have to wait and see for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, there's loads of drivers here that can do it. I think it's a difficult one. I think I'm gonna have to go. I think I have to go with Danny as well. He's top championship leader, and I wouldn't be surprised if I did see him on pole on a podium again, Bosley.
Yeah, Danny's been very consistent so far in this ULC season. I think he's won one of the races. Yeah, he's won one of the races, but he's been on the podium in all of them, which has put him in the championship lead. So, I'm not certain sure whether he will get pole or whether he'll just drive a consistent race and do what he normally does, but I think I'm going to stick with him for pole. I think we will maybe see some surprises from people like Melanie getting into the mix. Shuriken is also up there at the moment. He might get into the mix as well. So far as it's AOR versus SCS for poles and wins. Maybe we'll see a surprise in there from people like Shuriken and Melanie.
Yeah, so far it's been between those guys. We've had some Tom up there in the early start of the season, representing SRL, but there's still everyone's battling for position. Of course, in Tier 2 there's only points for 1st to 8th, so these guys it's even harder job to get points, unlike Tier 1, which is 1st to 10th. So yeah, a little bit more difficult here in Tier 2 to get points. But yeah, we've got everyone done a lap bar an Eagle. I think he may have typed that wrong when he entered his gamer tag. I an Eagle. Anyway. Oh no, I've just read that wrong. It's I'm A. Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh, that was that. Wow. It's been a long day, guys. I've had a long day at university. I'm tired. But yeah, these guys are just coming in now and doing their second laps. Oh, that's an embarrassment. That was probably the worst thing I've ever said. Oh dear. But anyway, we'll forget that. I mean,
you've raced with him for almost a full season in AOR, so you'd have thought you'd have seen his gamer tag.
I don't know. We'll forget that. Oh dear. But yeah, like I said, these guys are coming out for their second laps, and currently Stone still on pole, and hopefully Danny and Stone do change their lap times, because otherwise they're going to start on top of each other, which won't be ideal here in ULC today in Hungary. That Warden, I can't see the name at the bottom, has just left the session. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but the current top 10 stands at Stone on pole, Danny 2nd, Surprise in 3rd, Shurik 4th, Melanie 5th, Jason in 6th, TR Devout in 7th, Drawmaster 8th, Fredsters in 9th, and ESR Verstappen rounds off the top 10 for now. But yeah, still plenty of time for these guys. 3 minute 28. And yeah, should be some more. Yeah, looking forward to the race today, Bosley. It should hopefully be a good one. Like you said, not much place for overtake, but I think tyre strategy and the pit stops will really come into play today. Yeah,
I can't really see anyone running away with the race. I might be wrong there, but the competitiveness of the top 4 drivers should really make a very close race, and then we shouldn't really see anyone running away with it. I've just seen Danny's come out of the pits, done his outlap, and come back into the pits. Maybe he's got damage or something on his outlap, but he's just done his outlap and came back into the pits.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is an interesting choice from Danny.
Yeah, not sure what's going on there. Funny enough, I was speaking to Danny yesterday after the STS commentary interviews, and he reckons, surprisingly, we're going to get 1-2 today. So a bit of cockiness from Danny. In today's ULC race. You probably didn't want me to tell that, but it's we all like a little bit of beef in the community, don't we? A little bit of cock. Everybody loves it. So yeah, Danny coming in. Oh, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe he's put. Not really sure what he's doing. He's on the right tyres, so yeah, no idea what he's doing. But yeah, still, some of these guys getting bored with surprise the other STS man. He comes through the last sector. And Surprise not had the best. Where is he on my table? He's had his best finish was 2nd in Bahrain, and 4th in Great Britain last week. So he ideally needs to get back on the podium. I believe STS are leading both Tier 1 and Tier 2 championship. I'll double check that in a little bit. But yes, doing well this season. Surprise to go on pole, 16.9. So that is a great lap from the Welshman. Sort of my favourite, but I will try not to convey that through the commentary. Helping a brethren out, and the rest of it. So yeah, Surprise puts it on pole for now. Stone is the man on his tail with Danny in third. Danny's coming out, so will he get Donkey? Oh dear. Eagle, where
7th.
Oh, he's driver. He's not slow, really, is he?
No, he's not. Quite surprised to see him in 7th. But yeah, I'm not surprised to see him spun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Danny should just make it. But yeah, it'll be close. Surprise is finished. That's it for Surprise.
So Surprise giving up his time on track. So he's currently on pole, but still plenty more drivers who will try and beat his time. Just on board with Stone, the man representing AOR, coming around the final bend. This is starting his lap. Was he just finishing one? Okay, he's just starting a lap, so we'll try and get on board with the guys coming towards the end of their laps. Danny comes around, but he's on. He just get round in time, just about. He will be one of the last people on track actually to do a lap. Will be who was near the end of their lap here. Devout is coming through sector 2. Fredster's starting his lap. What else we got?
Casey's close to the end.
Okay, Casey is he'll be one of the first men to get on. Finish the qualifying session. Where Casey representing the F1 league comes across the line. Will he improve? No, Casey stays in 15th. Verstappen will finish that in 12th actually, so he's a bit down. Who else have we got? Brandy comes across the line. Where will he go?
I believe Saka just improved, and improved himself to 10th, or recently has improved.
Everyone's just sort of coming across the line just everywhere, and I'm not sure who's finishing where because people are giving up already. So
we've got Stone. He's 10th up at the moment. Is Stone going to come through the final corner? Can he challenge Surprise for pole? No, he actually lost the time in the final corner. It was a 10th up in the middle sector, but didn't end up improving. Now Danny, can he improve and challenge Surprise for pole, or is he going to make us both wrong? Danny across the line.
Second.
Oh, misses out on pole by 300ths of a second.
Jeez, it's close. The STS guys are on a mission today. I know they think they start practicing about 4 o'clock, Bosley, so they get a good haul of time. And of course, with the reigning AOR champion, the Flying Finn is also in there, representing STS in Tier 1. So they're coached by one of the best F1 drivers I've seen on these games. But yeah, Surprise on pole, Danny second, Jason has given up, and that is it. We're all done. So just reading the chat, Bosley, and it looks like Verstappen and Surprise have both got the setup glitch. So that's really unfortunate for them. I don't know whether they can apply it on the start on the grid. Hopefully they can. Otherwise, these guys are gonna struggle with their tyre wear. Hopefully they sort it out, but I'm not sure. You see how Verstappen is down in 12th, so that might be a big. But then again, Surprise has done it with and still got on pole. If he does have a separate, that is very impressive. So Surprise on pole, Danny second, Jason third, Stone fourth, Drawmaster fifth, Shurik in sixth, Melanie seventh, I'm an Eagle in eighth, Devout ninth, Saku 10th, Fredsters 11th, Verstappen 12th, BPRL Imp 13th, Freak Show 14th, Casey 15th, Brandy 16th, Goblin 17th, Bird in 18th, and that rounds the 18 drivers we have here in Hungary, Bosley.
Yeah. Bird, I'm guessing that's not a competitive lap time for him, 10 seconds off the pace. As you said, Danny said that he thought that him and Surprise were going to get a 1-2. They've got the front row lockout in quali. Can they convert that to a 1-2 in the race at a track I wouldn't expect to see many mistakes? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
What's that?
I don't know, maybe that's been fixed. I don't know. I just got put on board with Surprise, looked behind me, and Danny and Melanie were sat on top of each other. Looks like Melanie's back into his grid slot now, but yeah, I just got to put on board with Surprise, and Danny and Melanie were on top of each other. So
Oh dear.
I hope that's not what happens at the start of the race.
Hopefully, yeah. I'm still looking at the pit, so I can't see anything, unfortunately, Bosley. So I have some weird, like, shadow coming through the pits. There's a ghost in the pits on my screen. Don't know if you can see it on stream. Maybe it came up or not. I'm not sure. But the lights are going to come on in a second. Hopefully the grid is all set properly. It looks like it is. The lights are coming on. That is 5 red lights for round number 5 in Hungary. And it's lights out, delayed start there, but away we go here in Hungary. Both the Mercedes drivers get a good start here. Danny trying to get Surprise going into the first turn. He looks like he has the lead for now, but that is Jason going around the outside of Danny. A little bit of contact between both the drivers. Jason has the outside line. He will have the inside line for the next turn. Stone is getting involved. STS and AO are battling away almost 3 abreast because they come through turn 2, but Danny keeps a position for now. Stone going to go around the outside of Jason, doesn't manage to do that. Oh, he does actually. Jason down to 4th place now. Drawmaster right on the back of these guys, and a load of cars all over the back towards the back of the grid, but it looks like everybody through. Eagle has left the session. That may be an internet issue for him, but we've got a great battle here, Bosley, for the lead, and the top 6 have broken away slightly from Shurik, it seems.
Yeah, Shurik sort of being left behind by these top 6 drivers. Drawmaster, I don't think he's had any particularly good races so far, and he's currently in 5th place looking to put the pressure on Jason. Looked to be a great start from the 2 AOR drivers. Couldn't take the top 2 positions from any of the STS drivers, but they almost could. Obviously we saw Stone and Jason going side by side. I think they would have seen each other and thought, let's not crash into each other, because that would have been a good idea. Yeah. I believe Saku might have gained a position. I should get the position change up. Yeah, he's gained 2.
Verstappen's crashed.
Verstappen is into the wall.
Dear, where is that? I'm not sure where that is. Final corner. Not sure what's happened there. And lucky for Bailey there, out of the Hungarian Grand Prix for round number 5, unfortunately for him. And also we've got Bird, Devout and Goblin all into the pits, so maybe a bit of a crash at the back. But Surprise has got a 1.2 second lead already, Bosley, on his teammate Danny. So currently STS having the 1-2 position. Stone in 3rd, Jason 4th, Drawmaster 5th, Melanie 6th, Shurik in 7th, Saku in 8th, and Fredster's 9th, and Imp rounds off the top 10 for now.
Yeah, I think looking at Brandy, he's made a great start. Getting factions. Oh, Devout. I've just looked at Devout. I think he might have had an incident. He's down in last. He's lost a lot of positions. Surprise slowly breaking away from Danny. Surprise will be outside of the DRS when it comes on, so if you don't make any major mistakes, you could have this, at least for the first stint, have the lead. And then there's a gap back to Stone and a gap back to Jason. The gap's sort of starting to spread out in this Hungarian Grand Prix. Growmaster, though, still staying close to Jason, so maybe you can look to put the pressure on come the end of this lap. Melanie, the sole SRL driver tonight, looking to stay as close to this train. But Fredster, I've just noticed, currently inside the top 10, and he's on the soft tyres, so maybe you can go for an alternative strategy tube.
Yeah, something different to the guys ahead. And the top 9 are still pretty back a little bit more. Who was under pressure to come through the start of Sector 2. Like we said earlier in the intro. Oh, and that's Brandy trying to go down the inside of Imp there as they come round towards chicane. Will he make a dive manoeuvre? He has the inside line. Can he make a move? Can Brandy make a move? Strange Cameron, no, pulls out the move before the chicane, so no move for the Red Bull driver there. But Bird has retired from the session. Is that a crash from Bird? No, he's just given up, it looks like, after having... Oh, he's broken his wing again, actually, or he didn't fix it coming through the pits. So that is unfortunate for him, the guy representing the F1 League. So he is out for now, but back on board with the guys up at the front. Imp still ahead of... Brandy. Are they on different tyres, or is that just a glitch I've got? I'll just double check that they're on different tyres. So Imp is on the medium, so he's doing a good job so far, just outside the points. But Brandy right on the back of him as they come down to start lap number 4. Will Brandy pop it down the inside? He does. He pops it to the inside. Will he make the move under braking? He has the inside line.
Go for it.
And he is through. Hold it on the outside. Doesn't look like Brandy pushed him wide. And that is Brandy up into 10th place for now, Bosley.
Yeah, good move there from Brandy. Didn't let him get the line around the outside to go for a move. I'm quite surprised that Imp's gone for mediums, to be honest. I think even more so starting outside the top 10 and getting fresh tyres, you can easily take a soft, super soft one stop. I think most of the people at the front, as long as they've got decent tyre wear, will also be looking to do a super soft one stop. So I think it probably would have been better for him to start on the soft tyres. But he's still doing a good job to keep up. Brandy starting to break away. Maybe you can look to catch up to Fredster. Jason really not pulling away from Drawmaster, but Drawmaster just can't get close enough anywhere to go for a move. The gap has been about 4 seconds since lap 1, so if Drawmaster can just find that extra gear, maybe you can get past Jason.
Yeah, as surprised as a fast lap. Yeah, Drawmaster, he's not too far, but it looks like Jason doesn't have any other DRS as of yet, so no move there. But yeah, Drawmaster's right on the back of Jason, the lone man representing RGL tonight after Verstappen's crash on lap number 1. So yeah, he's just keeping his waiting for a move. Unfortunately, like we said in intro, difficult to overtake here in Hungary. So main places are really on the pit straight here in Hungary. So yeah, but surprise, he was pulling out that gap, but it's sort of slowed down now. Maybe slowing down and maybe, well, I'm not sure. He wouldn't be pushing his teammate into stone, but yeah, maybe just saving those tyres a bit for the man representing SDS. Devout has got a 3-second penalty after his incident on lap 1. He's really pushing now, and well, as we saw, a 3-second penalty for Devout, the TSLR man. But Surprise still leading here. But Danny really getting under pressure here from Stone. Move. Danny without DRS, so Stone could make a move on the pit straight now.
Yeah, I think he would need a mighty run out this final corner, see if he can get it. I don't think he particularly gets a good run. He just basically needs to dive bomb into turn 1. I'm thinking, I'm not sure, but I think unless he could reload the setup, I think everyone might have been reset. Either they've been able to reload the setups or they've all been reset, because if they had default setup, I don't think Surprise and Danny would be holding the leads that they have. But yeah, I think Stone just needs to get a bit closer than he was on that last lap through that final corner. But then maybe you can launch a move into turn 1, although that last sector's not easy at all in the dirty air, so it can be quite difficult to play close. Saku looking to get onto the back of Shuriken. I think he's caught him up. I think a bit further up the field at the start, but he's dropped back off of Melanie and fallen into the clutches possibly of Saku from TSRL with Fredster from TWRL not far behind and on the soft tyres, so he could take advantage of a battle between those two and possibly gain 2 positions. Yeah,
Shuriken, he did get a podium in Bahrain for round number 2, I think, from what I remember. He has been on the podium already, but yeah, struggling a little bit here. Still in the points there, but he is Saku really putting the pressure on, and Fred's is putting the pressure on him as well. So a little bit of a train here for P7. Menley dropping back off the back of Drawmaster as well. So everybody's still pretty close here, but Drawmaster doesn't seem to, he just can't get past Jason at the moment. And maybe that dirty air that he's been stuck behind is not helping him, and XL Pred has got a 5 go for speeding in the pit lane, so that's unfortunate for him. We'll cut against him later on, but yeah, still Surprise leading the race at the moment, but unfortunately, boss, we haven't had much overtaken here. So yeah, it's been, everybody's very close, but we haven't seen, well, it's just the nature of the track unfortunately, but yeah, not much overtaken here, but hopefully it does get a little bit more exciting here. But Drawmaster, the closest he's been in a while. He doesn't seem to get a great run off that final bend, and he can't seem to get past. Ooh, looks to the inside, on the inside of Jason there, but doesn't pull the move off at the moment. Come around the the second to last bend. Will we see a move from Drawmaster? Actually, Stone is very close to Danny as well, but he's also not being able to pass him here on lap number 8.
Yeah, he had a big loss at the back end through the final corner, and that's probably going to stop his chances of getting past now, unless he dive bomb, which he's going to play it smart, and he's not going to do. I think this would be his highest finish of the season, so he don't want to blow it away by diving and ruining both their. Obviously, he would like to get as many positions as he wants, as many points as he can for his league, but he needs to play it smart. He's got a good position in 5th, and he don't want to blow it away, and I need to go and plug in my controller. So, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be ideal if your controller died mid commentary, Bosley. So, yeah, Fred's also gets a 3-second penalty here. In Hungary, lap 35. Lap 8 of 35 here at the moment. So still a long way to go in ULC tonight. But don't forget, we do have the tier 1 is at 7:30, and we have the PS4 stream as well. So don't forget to check those out later on. I can't remember who's actually commentating those. I'll double check for you in a little bit. But yeah, everyone's still pretty close, but not much overtaking. Let's look further down the grid. We do have there's a bit of a battle behind. Well, no, that's the battle we've looked at already. But Imp on the medium tyres has got Freak Show right on the back. That's a brilliant name, Freak Show.
Yeah.
In the Haas, but he's on the back of Imp as they start lap number 9. Different, of course, Freak Show is on the soft tyres and Imp is on the medium, so a bit of we might see an overtake coming down here.
Zachary just made a move. Yeah, I think Zachary just made a move on Shuriken. I don't know. I think maybe we missed that, but I think Zachary has just made a move on Shuriken. And now Fredster possibly looking to follow Saku through, but there's not really many overtaking moves or any opportunities other than at the first corner, unless you're willing to dive bomb it. So might be a whole lap behind Shuriken for Fredster. What have I just seen there? That's Fredster. He was looking up the inside of Shuriken.
Did try, yeah,
very close.
Try. Yeah, not really a place to overtake through the S's of Sector 2, but that's everybody's tries something a little bit different, but. Fred, the late. Oh no, there's contact between Fredsters and Shurik, and they're both around. Oh dear, there's a late lunge, and it looked like Shurik just turned in, didn't see Fredsters.
Drawmaster and Jason, even closer than the other, but Jason now got DRS from Stone. I don't know if he had it before, but Jason does have DRS from Stone, so there's nothing Drawmaster can do while Jason the DRS. That's really unlucky for Shuriken. He's actually going to have to come in and change his front wing. Really unlucky for him. Fredster seems to be able to carry on. I don't think he got any damage from that. But Shuriken is going to have to come in and change his front wing. I think Drawmaster was close enough to have Jason, but the DRS that Jason could get from Stone meant that Drawmaster couldn't get the move on Jason.
Yeah, Stone's Stone's dropped off the back of Danny now. Danny got a bit of a lead over Stone, but surprised with a 2.6 second lead here in ULC. He's man on a mission here at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on him. These guys should be coming in pretty soon for some tyre changes, so we'll keep an eye on that. Jason and Stone, as we've got a little bit of a train here forming between Stone, Jason and Drawmaster Melanie, not too far back, but Drawmaster is into the pits for a new set of tyres, which maybe trying the undercut on Jason and Stone, not really getting anywhere behind Jason, so trying to something a little bit different than the RGL man. So he's in. We also got Eagle into the pits, but that is just a ghost car from what I remember. Let's double check that. Yeah, Eagle's ghost car. So I think he's just lagged out. He's had internet issues in other leagues as well, so hopefully he fixes that. He is a reserve, so
Monaco.
Yeah, and Monza, quite a few other places. Yeah, but on my screen, apparently tyres haven't got any rims. It's just the rubber around the outside, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. But Imp and Freak Show battling away here. Actually, Freak Show got past for a second, but didn't stick. But Drawmaster's right in the back of these guys now on the fresher tyres. Freak Show and Imp both on older tyres. Will he go down the inside to this blind left-hander? Doesn't make the move stick there. Oh, but that is wide from Freak Show, and that has allowed Drawmaster easy move. Easy overtake for Drawmaster, and he'll be on the hunt behind Imp now. He's on the medium tyres, doing a completely different strategy to a lot of these guys, starting on those medium tyres. So he will be going on to those super softs towards the end of the race, and he'll be super quick. So keep an eye on Imp at the latter stages of this race. But Drawmaster all over the back of the Toro Rosso man here as they come to start Sector 3. Will he do it down the inside? He goes to the inside line. Imp doesn't defend, and that is Drawmaster up into 9th, Bosley.
Yep, I think Drawmaster has made probably the best of a bad situation there. Jason's going to react to him pitting. Drawmaster maybe could have come out behind. The last thing he wanted was to be stuck behind for laps and laps, and he's managed to get through. Jason is onto the mediums, actually. Yeah, Drawmaster onto the soft, Jason onto the mediums. Is Drawmaster going to get the undercut? He actually is going to get the undercut on Jason. So Drawmaster's going to come out ahead of Jason, and Jason's going to be on the slower tyres. I believe that the strategy is a super soft. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe Jason's about to prove me wrong, but from what I remember, the strategy is a one-stop on soft, so I'm not quite sure why Jason's pitted for medium, but maybe that'll be the quicker strategy, I don't know.
Yeah, I've commentated, I remember doing SRL commentary around here, and he had Jason and Feisty Ted, who is in Tier 1. I think, I'll double check that, but they both did different strategies. Ted went onto the softs and Jason did the mediums, and Ted's tyres fell off at the end, and Jason managed to win being on the mediums because Ted's tyres fell off, who was on the soft tyre. So we'll keep an eye on that. Yellow flag in Sector 1, is that the leaders? Anything going on here? Doesn't look like, but Surprise is staying out. Danny, Stone and Melanie, AOR, STS and SRL all into the pits here, and it looks like Danny's on the softs. No, Danny's on the mediums. Everything's changing here. So Danny's on the mediums. Where we go. Everyone's moving up and down on my little table. Stone's on soft and Melanie on soft. So everyone's doing something a little bit different here at the moment. But Stone's actually jumped Danny in the pits, Bosley, and that's a great job of the Sauber crew. Not expecting that.
And Drawmaster, he's jumped everyone. Drawmaster's got ahead of Stone and Danny and Jason. Drawmaster, if he doesn't have to pit and if he can keep his tyres, is possibly an effective P2 at the moment. I saw him set fastest lap, so maybe he can get out ahead of Surprise as well. Quite interesting to see the split strategies. A lot of people are going for mediums, but there are a few, including Drawmaster and Mel, the soft, so they strategy the Brandy.
Spinned it coming in there before the chicane.
What the hell? Yeah, but he's just given a nice little block to Casey through the chicane. Not that much you could do there, to be honest. It's a tight corner. Oh, and he spun it again. Surprise does pit.
Not the race for Brandy today, but yeah, Surprise into the pits. Jason and Stone battling away. So looks like Jason got out of the way for Stone, being on a different tyre. They're both the guys represent AOR, but the key thing is Saku and Surprise. Where will these guys come out? So Surprise on the mediums as well. He's doing a same strategy as Danny, but will Surprise come out in first? Fred says has got him, but Fred I don't believe has pitted as of yet. No, he hasn't. So Surprise comes out in the lead, and Drawmaster, the man has won out of all of this, Bosley, up into 3rd place.
Yeah, I think it will be. Yeah, I think his soft tyres that he's chosen, the undercut preferably, has got him up to technically because Fred still needs to pit. Yeah, I think a couple of there's not many people that have actually chosen soft, which I'm actually quite surprised about. I would have thought the soft would have been a bit quicker option. Only Drawmaster, Stone, and Melanie choosing soft. It's quite interesting to see split strategies from the AOR drivers. I would have thought they would have discussed strategy and maybe gone for the same one, but they have chosen split strategies. So it'll be interesting to see how the split strategy work out for the AOR drivers.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one as a race comes to a close later on. But lap 14 of 35 so far. And I've just been updated by Argel, who just said that Verstappen had a screen freeze and he ended up in the barrier. So a race to forget for Bailey here in Hungary, and I'm sure he'll come back stronger next week. But currently Freds is leading the race with Surprise in 2nd, Drawmaster 3rd, Stone 4th, Jason in 5th, Danny in 6th. He was on the hunt on the of Jason. He's gathered for a long time. Make the move stick there. Tyre smoke from it looked like it was Stone ahead of them, but Melanie in 7th, Imp in 8th, who is yet to pit, Casey in 9th, and Saku rounds off the top 10. But of course, some of these have yet to pit. So Casey, Imp, and Fred's have yet to pit here in Hungary at the moment. So still plenty of time for pit stops. Still 20 laps to go. So a bit of a longer race here in Hungary. And unfortunately, the lack of overtaking is... we've seen a couple of overtakes, Bosley, but not as much as we would normally see, like last week in Silverstone and the previous tracks. But next week, we are going to... Where are we going next week? We're going to Belgium next week, so we'll see plenty of overtakes there, especially some DRS takes down the Kemmel Straight. So that'll be some great footage to see. So, yeah, join us next week, hopefully. If you enjoyed the stream, let us know, and hopefully join us next week for... round number 6 next week. So, but everyone a little bit spaced out, unfortunately. It looks like Saku and Casey are behind Imp, but that is a close battle we have on track. Saku is a man to watch, be it on the soft tyres already pitted. Casey and Imp are yet to pit, so keep on, stay on board with the Williams driver and see what he does. Stone, new fast lap for the AOR man, 120 flat there, so that's a pretty good lap from him. So will Saku get past? That is the question here, Bosley. Yes or no?
Ooh. Not on this straight, no. Is he going to dive it? No, he's not. I don't. Is Casey pitted yet? I don't think Casey was ahead of these. No, Casey hasn't pitted yet. So, Saku could really do getting past. Oh, Casey just let him through. Casey obviously realising that battling is not the best option, considering that they're on different strategies. Saku's pitted when Casey hasn't. Saku with a bit of a weave to thank him, I assume, for letting him through. I think Saku looks chase down Impu on the mediums. They got to be getting fairly worn now. I think he probably wants to take him a bit right mediums. Danny looking to get to the back of Jason on the next straight. I think he's just gonna try and stick close in this last sector, then get past on the main straight. It seems that Danny is quicker than Jason, but not able to get past yet.
Yeah, surprise is right on the back of Fred as they come to start lap number 17, and that is a big, Fred's been on the side for a long time now, so that is surprise down the inside of Fred. Doesn't give much of a fight there, so that is surprise up into first and losing the back end slightly, and that might allow Drawmaster to get through as they come towards turn 2 second DRS straight. Doesn't manage to do it there, but like you said, Jason and Danny on of course on the there we go, they're on the same tyre strategy, so but should be similar pace. But yeah, Danny who was up at in second, so yeah, not the best pit stop phase for him, but Dan in 6th at the moment, Jason in 5th, Stone in 4th, not far off Master. Fred's with these guys at the moment, but this will help Surprise actually. Surprise has got a second lead over these guys. So he's also got, who is that in front of Surprise? I can't see. So Ferrari's up. Melanie.
Fred, but it's not an SRL driver. Nice, it's Fred. I think he joined late and got allocated a car, which I'm not sure who he's representing, but it's not SRL, I don't believe. Master finally gets past Fredster. He was only a couple of tenths behind, or maybe just under a second. I think I was surprised. He was chasing him down on the softs while Surprise on the mediums, but Fredster really hampering Surprise's progress there. Is Stone going to get an easy pass through into turn 1? I think he will on the inside. Indeed he does get an easy move on Fredster. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, yeah, Fred's just a bit of a moving blockade for these front drivers. Older softs and older softs. He's slower than all these drivers around here, so it's just about how quickly they can get past. Obviously, Fred's not a lap down, so he has no obligation to just move out of the way when we're getting blue flags. He's battling them for position, but obviously they're on different strategies, so it's crucial for people like Jason and Danny to get past. I think it could be crucial if Jason can put a car in between him and Danny, and then Danny gets held up by Jason even. Not by Jason, by Fredster. That could really help Jason's race. Yeah,
it could. So we'll have to wait and see. We've also got Pred and Fred's just battling away, even though they're not battling for position at the moment. It looks like Pred is actually representing TWRL Bosley, from what I can gather from the chat. So thank you, chat, because I was not given this information before the race. But Danny looks to the inside line, going to turn 2. Jason goes a little bit defensive. Can Danny make the move stick? He has the inside line. Jason right on the curb there. Can Danny do it? We'll have the outside line for the next turn, but then you'll have the inside line for turn number 3. Can he hang it around the outside? Can Danny do it for STS? Doesn't look like he can. Jason pushes him wide, and Jason keeps position for now. Great battling from these two, and they're coming up to some traffic, so depends if that gets up the way. And these guys battling will allow Melanie for SRL to catch up with these guys, so he must be licking his lips back in 7th. BPL Goblin gets a 3-second time penalty, and Stone also got a penalty earlier on, Bosley, so that might count against him being with the closer top runners are at the moment.
Yeah, I think stuff like penalties at the end of the race are going to be really crucial, because no massive gaps between these front drivers, so 1 3-second penalty could completely change the end result. Stone is right on the back of Drawmaster. I was about to say you're getting older by Drawmaster. Drawmaster's not a got confused for a second. Stone is caught up to Drawmaster. He's clearly quicker than him at the moment. He's on the same strategy as him, so maybe you can look to get past Pred. Being a bit awkward for Danny. He's led him through while Danny was maybe looking to make a move, but thankfully for Danny, he was far back enough to the point where he didn't have to go off to the right where Pred was.
Yeah, luckily for him, and Manley just got past as well. They're in 7th, but Danny and Jason, still great little battle we've got here for P number 5. Fred's is still in. He's now in the he's in P4. Jason right on the back of him. If he can get past him in the chicane, does he make the move? Doesn't make the move there. Just thinking if Jason get past, he'd have a little bit of breathing room for Danny, who's been breathing down his throat. Breathing down his neck for quite a few laps now. 15 laps to go here in Hungary. It's a leading draw within a second of him. Danny right on the back of Fred, and should get past him pretty easy there. Yep, down the inside. Can Danny follow? Doesn't look like Danny can follow. Danny tries to follow. There's a wheel bash in there between the McLaren and the Mercedes. Going to have to go around the outside. And actually, Melanie is caught up massively here. And can Melanie make a move? But Fred is in the pits. Melanie's got right up to the back of Danny here. And this could be a great move from the Ferrari man. But unfortunately, Danny is in the DRS of Jason, so Melanie may not be able to make a move unless he makes a mad dive bomb. And the other Ferrari of Pred is trying to get involved in this little battle. As much as I'd love to see more battling, he's down in 15th and not in 7th, unfortunately. Saku is that man, but Saku's 6.6 seconds behind Melanie, unfortunately. So, yeah, Stone is pretty close to the back of Drawmaster, but the battle really here, Bosley, is for P4. It was a great battling between Jason, Danny and Melanie.
Yeah, I think Fredster has done some great work. Fredster some money under the table after this one. Almost got him a few more positions there. Maybe Melanie can stay closely, so he's on the faster tyre. But yeah, like I said, Fredster backing Jason and Danny all the way into Melanie. Melanie looked for the gap of the inside of Danny, but just couldn't get the run that Danny had on the outside. But maybe if he can get close enough through the final corner, he can make a move into turn 1.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, Bosley, would this be an AOR strategy to slow Danny down? Because, of course, Stone has that penalty. He has those 3 seconds, and Danny, trying to get past at the moment. And Danny may get the move done now, but there could be a play from AOR to try and slow Danny down, the championship leader at the moment. He's right in the back of Jason. Will he make a move? Doesn't look like he will. Melanie a little bit further behind as well. But yeah, could be a ploy by them, but maybe it depends. I'll try and talk to them after the race. If either of them get in the podium, still plenty of laps to go, still hopefully neither of them crash, but you never know what happens here in league racing. Casey is into the pits. Have we got any more battles? It looks like Fredster is, well, he just lost a place to Shurik and Brandy there, but he's trying to go, looks for the move there, but doesn't do it. Fredster's is on she's on those new tyres now, so he's going to be super quick. Now he's down the inside Oh, Shurik, can he go round the outside? A little
Around
bit of
the
wheel
outside.
bash in there. He's been pushed wide, but he goes round the outside of Shurik. And that's a great move from Fred up into 9th. As long as he takes Brandy now, he will be in the points. Of course, points only 1st to 8th here in Tier 2. So he's right in the back of Brandy. So it may see him move. And Shurik gets a penalty as well. So it'll go wide round there, losing the back end slightly. But Fred down the inside. Can he make a move into the chicane? Cameron takes ages to catch up. Doesn't look like he can. So he's on the back of the Red Bull. And we may see a move from him very soon.
Yeah, Danny, now all over the back of Jason. Maybe this is his opportunity. Jason obviously has no DRS on Stone. 6 seconds. This is Danny's opportunity now. Jason defends the inside. Can Danny make a move into turn 1? No. Good defending there from Jason. Held his inside. But can Danny do anything into the next corner? Gonna try and do exactly what Fred did, but just locks up around the outside. And some great defending from Jason at the moment. Holding off Danny and stopping Danny catching up to Stone. And speaking of Stone, the battle for the lead is really closing. The battle for the lead is closing up between Drawmaster, Stone and Surprise. I think Surprise maybe is a bit quicker than Drawmaster. Maybe his mediums are coming to him. But we'll see if Stone can get past Drawmaster.
Yeah, no, these guys are that may come. Stone and Drawmaster tyres maybe as the race goes on, they maybe sort of fall off the cliff. Hopefully, and that might allow Surprise to then get ahead and win the race. But there's still plenty more laps to. He's 7 off the lead here, so I don't think he's going to be able to make a move on this lap. It's still Danny and Jason are the closest, it seems, from my list at the moment. So it's only 1.2 seconds to separate the top 3 at the moment. But of course, Stone does have that penalty. So Stone, unless he goes on a mad one and overtakes both these guys and gets 3 seconds, I can't see Stone getting 1st or 2nd. But you never know what happens in league racing. Jason still ahead of Danny for now. But the battle of the top 3 is really tantalising, and it will play out as the laps, as the race comes to a draw. Fred just gets a new fast lap of 1:19.4, so I think it's about 6/10 quicker than the previous time we had on the board. But Jason still in 4th, Danny 5th, Manley down in 6th, Saku way back there. Casey, it just got past Freak Showed, I think, maybe coming out the pits. He's on a new set of supers, it looks like, but Freak trying to get back of him, Danny, and he's been on the medium for a while now, so Casey keeps the position for now. Who else we got? Danny is, it's less than 2/10 here at the moment. But Stone, I don't know who to stay on board with this. Stone is very close. Oh, Stone! Almost hitting Drawmaster. Drawmaster going very wide around the final bend. Surprise has gone to the inside line, so Surprise feeling the pressure of Drawmaster now. But Stone, can he make
Danny
the
and
move?
Jason.
Yeah, I'll get on board once they start
really
to get on the straight. How are we doing? Danny is the closest been for a long time here. Can Danny make the move on Jason? Go to the inside line. Jason go very defensive here. Can Danny go down the inside? It's so tight to the corner there. A little bit of wheel bashing. And can Danny, waiting for the camera to get round? Who's through? No, Jason's still in the lead for now. Can Danny go down the inside to the next turn? 2 kind of have to go around the outside. Surprise gets a 3-second penalty. The race leader has a penalty. That is not ideal for him.
And Stone,
bottle
another
this.
one. Stone gets another
Stone's
penalty.
got 2. Stone's got 6 seconds. Wow, I did not expect this at the end of the race. Wow, okay, so that's really... Stone's got 3. Currently, Drawmaster has the win in his hands. Jeff will be telling him that the driver in front does have penalties and the driver behind has penalties, so Drawmaster can't relax, but he is... he does have the knowledge that these guys do have those penalties, but Jason's still keeping 4th place. And unless he speeds up, he won't be able to get Stone. He won't be able to finish on the podium. But yeah, the battle for 4th is great. And then we've got the battle for the lead. Bosley, it's turned out to be a great race now.
Yeah. Going to be a really interesting finish with all the penalties coming out. Stone has just basically ruined every chance he might have had of a race winner, I would say, unless Drawmaster and Surprise crash together, as Danny has finally got past Jason. I don't know what happened there, but Danny's finally through on Jason. Now, can Danny close in? All Danny has about 2.5 seconds in the window where Danny's going to end up on the podium tube.
Yeah, he's got plenty of laps to do it as well. So unless Stone can put his foot down, Stone may lose his podium position. So Danny will keep the streak going as we have a great helicopter shot as they come through the chicane in sector 2. But Stone still back on the back of Drawmaster. But like we said, he does have 6 seconds worth of penalties. So Stone really not the ideal race for him at the moment. Danny is gaining already on the AOR man. And Jason will try and stick with that. It's Melanie quietly at the back of this train for P4. Hasn't made any strides as of yet, but he is one to keep an eye on. And then we've got Sacco down in 7th, Frezta's in 8th, and Shurik 9th. And Imp, who is finally pitted onto the soft tyre. So he's 3.9 seconds behind Shurik. So we'll keep an eye on if you can catch her. And maybe, well, I don't think he can get onto the points because Fred's on those super softs. So Fred is on a mission as well. He went quite far on the soft tyres earlier. But surprisingly, the race we have a great little train now. Unless no, it's just a ghost car actually. That was the ghost of, I think that's Devout's ghost car. That's just going round there. But Danny's still in 4th, not gaining as of yet on Stone. But he is on the medium tyres, so he should come into play now. I'm surprised Stone's tyres haven't worn off. Oh, I spotted Stone and Drawmaster's tyres haven't worn off yet, Bosley. But you know, still 8 laps to go here in Hungary, so anything can happen really.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they will go off. I'm guessing in maybe the last. Yeah, I think it could be quite a drastic drop. I think maybe in the last 3-5 laps we could see tyres drop off, but Joe Master can stay close to surprise. He will take the win, barring any commentator's curse, and it would be RGL's best result, really by far so far in ULC this season. The best result in any of the tiers so far is 6th place. So to even get a podium, their best if they could take. That'd be a great result for RGL and Drawmaster.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic to see. That would be, like you said, their best result if they do get the win. Brandy gets a 3-second penalty, but Drawmaster not close enough to make the move on to prize as of yet. Stone still very close. This battle for the lead is fantastic to see, but Danny's getting away from Jason now. It's almost a second between those two. Melanie dropped back ever so slightly as well. The Red Bull ghost car is getting in the way there. Saku, like I said, down in 7th. Further down the grid, Casey and Imp are racing away. So stay in this little battle. See the Casey on those fresh supers. Can he get Imp? Of course, is on fresh tyres. So the guys battling. Not for points, unfortunately. They're still battling for 10th. Like I said earlier, Tier 2 only first to 8th get points. Unlike Tier 1 and the PS4 league. So can Casey make the move? Imp, will he make a... No, it doesn't look like he's going to... he does a late run from Casey. Almost a little bit of contact, but luckily no contact there. Imp staying in 10th for now. They've got a long way to Shurik, who's up in 9th, unfortunately. And Fred up ahead. Fred is a bit... I don't think he's going to be able to catch Saku, who's in front of him, unfortunately. But back on board with the leaders. See if Drawmaster can get surprise on lap number 29. That is he's been behind him for a long time. The top 3 haven't changed much, Bosley, since the pit stop phase, really.
No, it's since pit stop phase, which was quite important for the most results coming into the pit stop. We saw surprise leading Danny 2nd. We've now got surprise leading and Danny down in 4th, so he really did lose a lot in the pits. He's also not really catching up to Stone much, so he does need to get within 6 seconds if he's going to take the podium off of Stone. But since he's got past Jason, which he's spending that long to do, he's not really caught up to Stone at all, so not exactly the race that Danny would have wanted. Starting 2nd on the grid, he would have hoped for more, but currently...
Yeah, it's been... Since he's got past, that gap between him and Stone stayed about 8.2, 8.3 for now, so don't know. Danny not really getting anywhere at the moment, but let us know who you guys think are going to win. You've got Surprise, Drawmaster and Stone. So let us know in the chat who's going to win. Jack is saying Drawmaster, so yeah, still plenty of time to go. Of course, Danny could come into play somehow. I don't know. He's a bit far off with 6 laps to go, but you never know what happens in these league races. Hopefully, we haven't got any glitches or anything like we've had in other races. But yeah, the main winners really. Casey is the man who's gained most positions in 10th by 5 places, and looks like. Eagle and Devout losing 7 positions off, but of course those guys aren't. Devout still racing? No, Devout and Eagle are just ghosting around. So it looks like Shurik is the only man left who has lost the most positions with 3. Danny and Jason, I would have thought they'd be right at the front, but nearly not getting anywhere. Danny has closed that gap now. Actually, it's now 7.9 seconds. He's gained 3/10 on Stone. Maybe those soft tyres are starting to wear off, Bosley.
Yeah, I think that's what Danny absolutely needs Stone's tyres to go off, but if Stone has managed them well, then they probably won't drop off that much. He has been in dirty air for a lot of the stint, being right on the back of Drawmaster for most of the stint, so that won't have helped his tyre wear at all. But will it be enough of a drop off? Danny is closing up now. I think he's closed in about 6/10 just on this lap. So he's on a bit of a mission in these last 5 laps to get a podium at least.
Yeah, he just needs another 1.4 seconds to get that place, unless he gets a penalty. There's still time for that. But Surprise is he's breaking that lead, actually. It's now 1.2 seconds. It was within a second for a long time. Master's tyres are well, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, because, of course, Surprise does have a penalty. So if he can get 3 seconds on Drawmaster, he will keep the lead, but everyone reckons... well, we got Yves Jacal. Oh, no, sorry. No, it's just... what are we looking at? A lot of people saying Drawmaster, actually, to take the win here. But, it's still time. It's now 1.4 seconds, actually. So, I don't know. This is interesting. Who will get it? That time is going up ever so slightly every sector. 4 laps here. So, Drawmaster could lose it if he doesn't put his foot down. Danny is now 6.9 seconds behind. So, I think Danny might get it, Bosley.
Yeah, I definitely think it will. And I'm thinking, I'm going to say this now, lap 31, I think Surprise is going to win the race, even with this penalty. I think that the mediums have come into their part of the race in this last 5 laps. Really pulling out the gap. I think when the softs, like I said earlier, when the softs go off, it's going to be a drastic drop off. So we could see Surprise with close to a 5-second lead by then, because Drawmaster no longer has DRS, and I think Surprise will have much quicker times at this stage in the race.
Yeah, you can see now, Drawmaster now 1.9 seconds behind Surprise, and I think Surprise might get it as well. The current rate that Drawmaster's dropping off now 2 seconds. Well, with 3 laps to go, it's close here in ULC Tier 2 around Hungary. So yeah, plenty of action here in this league. Danny, he's 2/10 off getting that P3 now. So almost, I think Danny's going to get it. He'll be on the P3. I don't think he's going to be able to catch Drawmaster. It's almost 8 seconds with 3 laps. I don't think, as quick as Danny is, I don't think he can get that. So. Yeah, Jason's still in 5th. 4 points for AOR, but not what they wanted. Neither driver will be on the podium as of now. Melanie down in 6th. Has dropped back ever so slightly. He's also on the soft tyre off the back of Jason. Saku there. Imp and Casey still battling away for P10. Unfortunately, no points for P10. More point for Pride, really, at the moment. Brandy down in 12, battling with Freakshow, actually. I think Freakshow got a penalty early on as well. I think Brandy may have a penalty as well, but keep an eye. We'll look at all of that at the end of the race. But the gaps, yeah, I think the gaps is really, the battle really is between Freakshow and Brandy, and everyone else is a bit spread out, unfortunately, Bosley.
Yeah, it seems that the gaps are broken off again. I was just having a quick look at the race director and the times. It seems that Surprise, Danny and Jason, the people in the front on the mediums, their personal best of this race have all come in the last 3 laps. So It seems that as this stint has come along, they've actually got quicker on the mediums. Not slower, they've gained pace on their mediums. While Drawmaster, his last lap was 1.1 seconds off of his personal best. So big difference at the end of the race between the mediums and the softs. Mediums actually gaining pace at the end of the race instead of losing it.
Yeah, and it just dropped into the 3 seconds there between Drawmaster and Surprise. It is now 3 seconds, 3.2 seconds separate the top two. So Drawmaster, as of this current moment, will finish in P2. That is unfortunate for him. Like we said, the mediums are coming into their window now, and it's allowing them to pull away. And Danny now 4.1 seconds behind Stone. Yeah, Danny currently has P3, Jason in P5, Melanie down in P6. But yeah, with 2 laps to go here, Bosley, who do you fancy for your driver of the day?
My driver of the day. There's been I did say draw, honest. In case he's gained the most position, but Drawmaster from 5th on the grid, he's drove a pretty solid race. Fairly close to the lead. He's not going to get the lead, I don't think, but looks pretty solid for P2, so I think I'm going to have to go with Drawmaster for my driver of the day. How about you, Jude?
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you there with Drawmaster. He's had an excellent race.
Drawmaster's just gone off the track. He's just lost the back end. Commentator's curse.
Yeah, commentator's curse there with a lap to go here. But yeah, I think I have to agree with you. Drawmaster has had an excellent race here, representing RGL in the Renault. Unfortunately, his teammate crashed out early on, but he is gaining the points for them today in ULC. I'm sure the guys in Tier 1 will be encouraged by this, and hopefully they can do the same in Tier 1. But yeah, on the last lap now, Surprise was still leading now at 6.9 seconds. So if Surprise were to get a penalty, penalty and still win. So yeah, Surprise has had a great race as well. He's another one to give a shout out to. Started on pole and came out in first after the pit stops as well. So Surprise, he's actually paused the game just for a second there.
Ooh.
Not sure what he's doing there, but yeah, Drawmaster still in second. And Danny can actually see Stone now. It's now 1.9 seconds. That split them, unless I don't know, it's a cheeky
Stone's
last.
going to lose 2 positions. Yeah, Stone's going to lose 2 positions. He's going to drop behind Jason as well.
Yeah, Stone just actually cuts that corner as well. I'm just thinking maybe Stone's trying to press Danny into Jason, and Jason gets a last lunge manoeuvre on Danny. I don't think he's a little bit too far to do that, unfortunately. But Surprise comes round the second to last bend and round the final bend, and it looks like he will win the race here in Hungary for round 5 of Tier 2 ULC numbers. Across the line, he's winning. Congratulations to the SDS man. Oh, he's in the wall as well. But Surprise wins it. Drawmaster will get second place. And it looks like Stone will drop down. Confirm that, yeah. Stone drops all the way down to 5th place, unfortunately for him. So
6th.
The 6th, down a 6th. That is, oh dear. Penalties really counting against Stone here in Hungary today. So Surprise wins it with Drawmaster in 2nd, Danny 3rd, Jason in 4th, Melanie 5th, Stone 6th, Saku in 7th. Fredsters will finish in P8. Shirk will get P9, the first man to get who won't score any points, unfortunately. And Casey looks like he'll get 10th, unless either of these guys have got penalties. Imp, Casey and Shuruk. Actually, Shuruk does have penalties from what I remember, so we may see a change for position here. Does Casey goes up? Will Imp go up as well? Imp does. So Imp rounds off the top 10 for Shuruk 11th and Brandy in 12th there. So plenty of movement. But yeah, if you guys want to ask any specific questions to the drivers in the interviews, let us know in the chat and write down who you want it to be asked to. So put it in the Twitch chat, and we'll try and reload those questions to the drivers. But yeah, Bosley was I didn't expect to be as good of a race as it was.
No, yeah, even probably with the lack of overtakes, there was still some good moves, but with the lack of overtakes, it was still a very close race, and the penalties and the strategy changes had a very close end. Just looking at the final result, Surprise was the only person, other than Sergio Perez in 18th, Surprise was the only person that held position on pole. Everyone else moved up or dropped position.
Actually, he did. Yeah, that's an interesting little stat that he's got. But so, Surprise wins it. Drawmaster second, Danny third, Melly in fifth, Stone sixth, Psycho in seventh, Fredsters eighth, Casey in ninth, Imp in 10th, Shurik 11th, Freakshow 12th, Brandy 13th, Goblin 14th, and then the rest of the guys, I believe, they all retired. So only 14 drivers here finishing in Hungary. But we'll get the drivers in for their podium interviews, and we'll get a chance to see how their races went. And like I said, if you've got any questions for the drivers, put it in the Twitch chat, and we'll get asking them. But we'll just get them in, and we can get going with these podium interviews.
Yeah.
Invite them all in. My extensive friend list. Now, where are they on my list? There's Jason. Oh no, Jason didn't finish the podium. It's probably not best to invite him to the party. I think they seem to appear offline, so I'll add them through the lobby. Surprise. Invite to party. We've got what was it? Drawmaster. Invite to party. And then we have Danny to invite, and that rounds off the top three invited. Danny seems to where we got him. No, it's Drawmaster. We're just waiting on Danny, and then we can get going with these podium interviews. Where is he on my list? He is here somewhere. Where is he? There he is. Right. Invite to party. Cool. Right, everybody in. If you can include your audio, that would be fantastic. We can get going with these interviews. So, surprise! Congratulations on your win around Hungary. Started on pole, stayed in first half of the pit stops, and won ultimately. You just had a cracking race.
Yeah, I'm just quite relieved, to be honest. This is my first win in ULC actually, 1.5 seasons. So yeah, it's been a long time coming, but I'm happy. The race was decent. Managed to get pole. Me and my teammate both had a default setup glitch where someone leaves the lobby and then your setup gets reset. So managed to set 16.9, take pole somehow. And then in the race, just led from the start. My teammate helped me out a bit, holding up Stone and Jason. Start allowed me to pull away a little bit, and then it was just staying consistent.
You had a
really.
To still put it on pole with a standard setup glitch, that is just amazing. Really shows your quality that you still managed to do that with the glitch. And did you feel any pressure from Stone and Drawmaster behind you, being on the soft tyres?
Oh, definitely. I thought for a minute that I had the strategy wrong. I thought that you couldn't go to the end on softs. Obviously you could, but my teammate was reassuring me that the tyres will drop off towards the end, which they did. I think it was like around lap 30 odd or something like that. It went from 6/10 and ended up being I think 6 seconds behind at the end. So yeah, definitely feeling the pressure towards the end, but yeah.
Yeah, and of course you had that penalty as well. So luckily the soft tyres dropped off, so you could get that lead. I think it was about 7 seconds towards the end of the race. So congratulations on the win, and I'll pass it over to Boz to talk to Drawmaster.
So it was a good strategy in for you, Drawmaster. Started 5th, ended up 2nd. Were you thinking at some point you could have maybe won the race?
Well, I mean, the soft tires did really worn out at the end, so I don't think the first place was in sight, but in the end we saw that the soft tires did burn out quite a lot, expect to the medium tires. So but overall I'm quite happy with the placement, the second place.
Yeah, you seemed. I'm pretty sure you undercut everyone, and that almost
apologise.
was. Yeah, that was what gave you P2. You launched the undercut on everyone, and you held the position.
Yeah, that was the strategy for me. That I was behind the Saubers, and I thought I was quicker. And then I was thinking, all right, maybe I'll do the undercut already in the lap 10. But I believe it was a little quite too early. But in the end, it paid out. So yeah. I'm pleased that it worked out in the end. You saw that I did maybe a mistake in the second last lap. I ended up in the grass, but yeah.
Yeah, we saw that.
And, yeah.
Yeah. I'll pass it back over to Duke for Danny.
So Danny, your prediction of for SDS 1-2 didn't come out as planned.
When did I say that?
Yeah, I think I clearly remember you saying it last night.
Yeah, I got messed up in the pits again. Just last week it wasn't Verstappen's fault, but this week Melanie came in again. It wasn't his fault. He had to come in the pits, and I got held. And then Stone's car got released into my car. He ghosted, and then my car just stopped. I was like, Cody, please explain. But and then Jason went past, and then obviously Jason had Stone go, and then I was just stuck behind Jason. I felt as I was so much quicker. I was just driving like a Mong sometimes. I couldn't get close enough, and when I did get close enough, I just couldn't get past. I don't know what was going on there, and then I don't know if you've seen it, but he teleported behind me. We went to record a clip, I think, and then it just dropped it behind us. I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to get an easier overtake, and then just went after the leaders. And then I remember Sally saying to me before the race, don't get a penalty, it'll really help at the end, and then it obviously did, getting P3. So yeah, I'd say I'm disappointed, but I'm really not. I'm really happy for Surprise, and 1-3 over AWAR's 4 and 6. Just it's a great result, and congrats to John Master for P2 as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Congrats to Surprise and Danny.
Okay.
Did you know that Stone had those penalties during the race, or was it a surprise at the end?
Well, I was pushing to get behind, to get in within 3 seconds just in case. And then Suffice went, I'll check for you. He's got 2 penalties, yes! I was like, oh. I was almost crashed when he said that, but I didn't. And then, it was just coming across the line, seeing my name go P3, and that was a good feeling.
That explains why Surprise went when he ghosted during the start of Sector 2. That makes sense now. Okay, cool. Well, I'll just throw it over to Surprise to finish it off. So Surprise, looking at next week's race, it is Belgium. How do you fancy that track?
Pace is good, I guess. I don't know about the other guys' pace, but yeah, I'll be going for the win again. Bit of a disappointing season so far from my end, but hoping to turn it around, and maybe the championship's possible at the end of the season. We'll have to see. But obviously, it's about securing the team championship first, and then I'll focus on the drivers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, I wish you luck in that, and congratulations again to Surprise, Drawmaster, and Danny for the podium today. Thank you, Bosley, for joining me in the commentary box for this race in Hungary.
Cheers to the string, guys.
No worries.
Yeah, thank you.
And,
Thank you.
We'll, well, if you want to see some more racing, we have Tier 1 at 7:30, and also the PS4 stream. I believe it's at 8:30 to 9 o'clock. So go check those both out. We got some shout outs here. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we shall see you all next week for round number 6 in Belgium for ULC Tier 2. Good night. Oh shit, press the wrong button. Uh oh.
No,